Baumgartner with the Greater Tampa Chamber of Commerce. I want to welcome the viewers tuning in to our 2019 candidate interview series. Today we're interviewing City Council in the City of Tampa. At the Chamber, we focus on policy, not politics. And while we do not endorse candidates, we feel it's important to get them in front of the business community and our members to discuss some important issues. And today we're excited to have Joe Citro running for City Council District 1. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So at this point, we're just under 6 weeks till Election Day, final stretch. What's the message that you are trying to deliver to voters before they head to the polls?
My platform is the acronym CITY: Careers, Infrastructure, Transportation, and Youth Development. And they all circle around one another. If we can have better transportation, we can have better careers. If we develop our youth to go from high school to college or to a trade, we're going to have better careers. Our infrastructure is in dire need of help, especially with our stormwater runoff and our fresh, clean drinking water.
Perfect. I want to talk about workforce housing. Some in the community, in the city, consider it a crisis. Some say there's definitely a need for us to address affordable workforce housing. What zoning or policy opportunities do you see to address this need in Tampa?
City of Tampa has a lot of properties that it's holding right now. If we can sell them at a reasonable price to minority contractors, women contractors, African-American contractors within their own communities, that will drive the price of housing down.
Great. Budget process. Some would argue that City Council's biggest responsibility in working with the mayor is our budget each year. State economists, budget leaders at the state level are forecasting that there may be a downturn in the economy in a couple of years. If elected, that would be under your tenure. How would you balance that, your budget process, with a potential downturn in the economy? Would there be cuts that you would look at? Would there be tax increases? How would you manage that process?
First of all, I do not want to have any more tax increases with the 1 cent sales tax for the transportation, half-cent sales tax for the schools, which both are desperately needed. The next mayor is going to have to come up with a really great budget with the CIT tax coming to an end in 2021. We're going to have to look at other places. My priority would be line item budget on the mayor's new budget plan. I would also like to have throughout the year relooking at the mayor's budget to see where we can shift monies around, or through attrition when these top level management or middle management are going to retire, because they're coming soon, how we can have more of a workforce. Right now you have in permitting problems with that. Code enforcement, there's not enough staff power for that. We just have to have more boots on the ground to help our businesses get started. A friend of mine, Roberto Torres, was opening Blind Tiger. It took him a year to open up to get his CO, certificate of occupancy. That shouldn't happen in our economy.
Right, and that is a nice transition. I want to talk about permitting. We are hearing from members and folks in the community that it's becoming more and more difficult to obtain a permit. And of course, we want to balance the safe process of permitting, but at the same time, building the efficiency needed for businesses and residents to move on with their projects. How would you address this concern that we're hearing?
With permitting, again, it's boots on the ground. We just don't have the staff power with all the businesses that want to open up residential, whether it be building new homes or remodeling. There is just so much happening in this great city that we just don't have the staff power for it.
Home rule. Local governments across the state are growing frustrated with preemption, that there's a Tallahassee knows best mentality. Do you agree that that's the case? If so, how would you work as a city councilman to build a productive relationship with our state delegation?
There are many things that are going on right now. I'm a member of the YCDC, the Ybor City Development Corporation. We have 2 CRAs. There are some in Tallahassee that want to do away with CRAs. Our CRA is efficient. We have great bookkeeping. We can show where every dollar goes to. Just because there's been problems in other areas of Florida doesn't mean it happens here in Tampa. We have a West Tampa CRA that has just come up within the last 2 years that is doing great. East Tampa has one. Riverside Heights. CRAs are the way to take underdeveloped communities and reinvest tax dollars right back into it. For goodness sakes, Tallahassee wanted to talk to us about our tree code. We have the 9th greatest tree population in the state, in the country. Tallahassee has no idea what's going on in Hillsborough County and or the city of Tampa. Local rule. We know how to rule ourselves.
Great. Economic development. Utilization of P3s, public-private partnerships, are an asset for local governments across the country. What opportunities do you see in Tampa for us to engage in more P3s?
Oh, the number one is our Deepwater Port. My opinion, Deepwater Port is going underused. Don't get me wrong. Port Tampa Port of Tampa Bay is doing tremendous things. We have the opportunity for more importing, exporting, manufacturing, and assembly. East Tampa is one of the last industrial areas in the city of Tampa. We have a workforce there that's just ready and set for opportunities, whether it be union or otherwise. Low-skilled, no-skilled laborers. And again, the Port of Tampa would be a focus of mine.
Great. Transportation. In November, obviously, a transportation referendum that was supported by the chamber passed, injecting new dollars into transportation projects. We all have a list of projects we'd like to see get done. However, my question for you is, what would be the priority, one project out of the gate that you'd like to see done first?
As you well know, the BOCC, Board of County Commissioners, holds the purse strings on all transportation in this county. With the $35 million funds that the city of Tampa will be getting, in a 21st century city, we still have drainage ditches. We have roads that are not wide enough. We don't have enough sidewalks, and we don't have adequate stormwater runoff in which we can collect waters, clean it, and then put it back into the bay. I would like to see those drainage ditches filled with stormwater runoff, roads widened, sidewalks put on top of them. That way kids don't have to walk to school in the street. Mothers do not have to push their strollers in the street. That is my focus.
Great. Leadership. What is the role, in your opinion, for Tampa City Council, and how do you see that evolving over your term if elected?
There's two branches in our city government: executive, which is a strong mayoral form of government, and the legislative, which is city council. We're going to be dealing with zoning, codes, ordinances. We can't actually direct department heads to do anything. That's the mayor's duty. We can, however, bring down department heads and keep asking questions. And if I speak loud enough and often enough, those departments and the mayor's office is going to hear exactly what the constituents need.
Great. So we've touched on several different important policy topics. What is a priority of your campaign that we didn't discuss that you want our viewers to know about?
It's again, it's my platform: careers, infrastructure, transportation, youth development. They all revolve around one another. If we have careers but no transportation, how are we going to get people there? If we have transportation, we don't have careers. We're just moving around unemployed and low employed people. If we can't get our children from high school to a well-paying job, that is not good for our city and our infrastructure. Some of our storm water, some of our sewers are over 100 years old. We need to stop patching the problems and replace the problems.
Great. So obviously, if somebody wants to learn more about your CITY program, where could they go to learn more information on your campaign? My website,
citroforcouncil.com. That's citroforcouncle.com. It explains everything. You can donate there. My cellular phone number is right there. You can call me anytime, ask me questions, good, bad, or indifferent, or tell me exactly what you think.
Great. Well, on behalf of our 1,400 members, our board of directors, thanks for taking the time to join us, and thanks for your willingness to serve in an elected capacity. We really appreciate it.
As Vice President of the West Tampa Chamber of Commerce, I know the great things that all chambers of commerce can do, and it's been a pleasure, and I hope to see you again.
Thanks.
Thank you.